Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Here I am with a holiday episode. First of all, let me say to you, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. The reason I came up here today is I'm giving a piece of advice, not to the disabled, but to caregivers and or parents of young adults. What I consider young adults, 13 and above. If you consider young adults, 13 to 17. 18 are already adults in Florida. If you consider young adults, a different age, this advice still applies. Parents of people with disabilities, my advice to you is treat your young adults like any other young adult. If they want to go out to parties and it's safe, it'd be good for them to do that. Always with the knowledge that all people with disabilities don't have the same cognitive ability. For example, people with cerebral palsy that don't have Down syndrome or mental issues have the same mental age. But I understand that other people have other things that may impact their mental age. So, always being safe. And I also say to let your young adults, if they want to have a relationship with the opposite sex or whatever their choices are. But that is something that we should do. That is something that all young adults should get the chance to do. And to go to prom and do all those things that all young adults do. Because it's an experience that we all deserve. And parents, please don't limit your children. Allow them to have the experiences. It doesn't matter whether they have arguments with friends. It doesn't matter whether they have a girlfriend or boyfriend, whichever the case may be, and they have arguments with them. That's fine. That's a learning skill. Because what I say is, if you learn that when you're young, you know how to cope with it in real life. So, what I mean by real life is after you're out of high school or middle school or wherever. So, I say, let your disabled young adults be young adults when they have the cognitive ability to do so. Please try to allow your young adults to try to be as independent as possible. I understand that sometimes that is a hard thing to do because some people want to be independent and they don't have the mental capability to do so. I am very independent myself. I am not talking about myself here. I'm talking about people in general. So, I say again, Happy New Year. I don't think I'll be putting out an episode till after the New Year. Depends on what feeling and what comes into me. So, I am here now to say once again, let your young adults live their lives as safe as possible. I understand that some people don't have that. Let me finish with this point. Because if you don't, if parents or caregivers overprotect their children, I feel that it is an extreme disservice. With that, thank you for listening, and thank you for listening, and I'll be back after the New Year. I'll be glad. I'll be happy if you rate, subscribe, and follow me, so you can hear and you can see a notification when I will post a new episode. With that, thank you for listening.